right, so we will be riding Royalty. Royalty's a little green. We've done an excellent bit of groundwork. He has been very cooperative so far. He's a long way up. Yeah, buddy. He moved a little bit. If he moves, he has to move. So, if he even moves slightly, he's got to move. So obviously, that's going to change. Ooh, he's a long way up there. So, mane and rein. Up. Nice and light in the saddle. Good boy. All right. So, the first thing I want to focus on is getting them to give the head. Reach up, thumb and forefinger. I have these little knots, and I want him to give his head all the way over here and just release. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Give his head, release. Walk up here. As you can see, he's got a pretty high head. There you go. He has to stop and release. Now, this is just the flexing part. I want to kind of walk him over here a little bit. But really, the first exercise is right after that. So once he flexes, we're going to flex down to a one rein stop. All right? So I'm going to gradually get him a little bit closer, get him a little bit closer until he stops, whoa, and release. It's nice and easy. This is getting him to flex his head. Flex his head. See how I'm kind of pulling out, and then I'm coming into my knee, and then coming a little bit closer, and release. So this isn't an abrupt stop. This is a nice, slow, easy stop. So he gradually gives his head, and he gradually releases. So there we go. So nice and soft. And I'm very, very happy. There we go. Good. And he didn't stop very well, so I'm going to go back to that same side. Walk around. Kind of pull away a little bit. And I'm going to make him stand there a little bit longer this time before I release. Okay, so that was a gradual thing, but we start, the one rein stop is the first thing that I do with any horse because it teaches them to give their head, because remember, a horse has to follow their nose. Now, I've seen them do otherwise, but if you take the time and train this in, it makes your horse a whole lot safer. And I'm just going to kind of repeat this process. He's giving me a little swishy tail, and I want him to just relax. There we go. Now the tail kind of stops swishing, so we're going to walk back. Now, the next exercise that I'm going to do with him is going to be actually working his forehand. So I'm going to rock him back slightly, and I'm going to try to get him to give me that inside foot facing this way. So I'm going to open the door with my inside foot. I'm going to add button number 1, which is in front of the girth. Button number 2 is at the girth. Button number 3 is behind the girth. So for this exercise, I want to move the forehand or the shoulders. So I'm going to be adding button number 1. Now I'm not trying to use my heel. I'm actually going to use my toe. And I'm going to open the door to the inside. So as I'm walking around this little corner, once he gives his nose, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to add button number 1. And I'm going to cross to the neck. And there we go. We got a cross. And then we walk off and pet. So I was focusing the energy on the forehand. Come on. Now, he instantly saw his little friend over there and decided, I don't want to listen to you. He was doing very well there for a second. So we're going to go back to this. If they act up, they have to do the spiral down to the one rein stop. Because right there, he kind of got a little bit, I'm not going to walk off anymore. I want to pay attention to what my friend over there is doing. So we got him back on track. Because remember, we have to focus his attention on us to get anything to go. So we're going to go back to that exercise. We're going to go back to the spiral down to the turn on the haunches, which is turning the forehand. There we when he does it, we're going to relax. Now his ears are listening to me. He's doing a little licking and chewing, but he's still got a little agitated tail. That's okay. We're just going to go nice and easy. We're going to get his attention focused back. So again, we're going to go back to inside is going to open the door, outside close the door. There we go. There we go. Good boy. Come on. Give me one more step, one more step, one more step. Good. And he stepped off for me. So as long as he stepped off for me, I'm going to call that good. We're going to go repeat on the other side. So spiral down, lift up, outside rein, outside leg, good. Because this is the start of a spin. And this is also getting him to work on his hindquarters a little bit instead of his, and lift up this forehand. So there we go. That's really good. Now let's move button number 3. Now button number 3 is going to be turning the nose to the inside, and inside foot. Outside is going to open the door. So I'm going to keep him going from foot going forward, and I'm going to ask him to disengage those hindquarters. So come on, give me the step. There we go, and release. Took me a little while to get that. There we go. And that is disengaging the hindquarters. Now this is another good exercise if they're getting a little bit feisty. So you walk around in a circle, start to tip the nose in. Button number 3 on the inside, disengage the hindquarters with the right hand, keeping him from walking forward. I'm also isolating those hindquarters. So that's really good. Now he's listening to that really nicely. So again, I'm going to come in here, tip the nose to the inside, button number 3 inside, and good. And disengage the hindquarters. So good. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video, and if you enjoyed the video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Make sure you click that notification notice because we're posting new content every week.